touching lives around the world, motivating, inspiring. We are back with another video or live stream. The title of this live stream is none other than The Art of Peace. Damn, do we have more eggs? We don't. We don't have more eggs. That's okay. We don't need eggs right now. We're just gonna have a bowl of oats and we'll do our eggs with our lunch today. This is the art of peace. In the midst of fighting for progress, productivity, one truly needs a healthy balance of peace. Peace is a way to spend time, you know? Like everything else, it's a way to you spend your time. To spend your time at peace, you must let go of, I guess, that fire. But see, we're finding a productive peace. So as we're letting go of the fire, that real drive, at the same time of letting go of that fire and drive, we're maintaining our movement. So we're still pushing forward. You know, we're still doing what needs to be done. It's just we're learning to do what needs to be done. Without applying or creating a system of pressures. It's a nice skill. In many ways, you can get more done this way because the pressurelessness tends to harmonize with a mindlessness that allows for you to just move and do. And as you just move and do, you begin to watch things get done. That's all we can really ask for, is to move and do, and watch things get done. It's a beautiful time to be alive, it always is. We've been on our journey. We truly have. We have really been on our journey. We've been on our grind. We've been putting it in. we have. And we've been seeing progress. All great things to hear, right? Within this process, we have been putting ourselves through the test, through the gauntlet, through the fire. And in the process of doing that, we have accepted some life realities. Those realities being that there's always challenge awaiting us. Always. Even when we complete all of these goals, it doesn't mean life is going to get easy. It doesn't mean we're going to all of a sudden be fulfilled. That's a very naive mindset to think that, hey, if I do this, this, and this, now I'll be fulfilled. So we're not expecting a fulfillment after we complete our task. If anything, all we're expecting is a reset. And that's what we're doing it for, is for a reset. A reset in our programming, which we associate with a realignment of our destiny. I can admit, before I started making these adjustments and these changes, I didn't like my life trajectory. I'll admit that. Before I started making these adjustments and changes, my life trajectory was not appealing to me. Felt like the direction I was going in was leading me to a place where I would not have been fulfilled. You know, this happens. Drink mix. I can use this when I need it. You know, this happens, you know, where you just have been traveling through life ignorant. And hopefully, the hopeful part is that while you were traveling through life ignorant, you were at least a little bit aware of your ignorance. Because if you weren't a little bit aware of it, chances are you never began to make any changes. You know? That's the thing about it. See, I have been traveling around or throughout life ignorant. That's for certain. Ignorant, but aware to my ignorance. And thankfully, in that ignorance, in that awareness of my ignorance, it has pushed me towards a place of peace. Oddly enough. Where I found my peace was when I started to really recognize that I could make changes of my habits. And when I started to see that some of the changes that I was making would take months and months and months to fix or rewire my brain against my former programming. And I began to embark on those endeavors, regardless of that. What's up, Abby? How are you doing today? Long time no see, my friend. Hope all is well. It's quite interesting. Busy. That's the best way to describe this year. Busy. It's been quite interesting to watch this all come full circle. Not gonna lie, because I've tried to think and process in a lot of different ways. I tried to convince myself that the ideologies I had adapted were toxic for me in a way. And that's when I really opened myself up to the toxic ideologies. In this human life, you have to recognize that you're here for a challenge. A lot of people go pursuing that paradise on earth, and where do they find themselves? In the realm of addiction. See, human evolution has evolved itself. We used to have to fight against nature and wild animals in order to evolve. Now we have to fight against addiction, because addiction pops up in every form in this current state of the world. Like, you wouldn't believe you're addicted to TV shows until you stop watching TV shows for maybe some years or some months. Trust me. Because when you do that, when you go through that process of stopping watching TV shows, stopping watching movies, it loses its it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, especially when you're watching other people, the same way that any drug addiction would. Like, say you stop alcoholism. I've been addicted to my phone because I scroll through YouTube and stuff instead of reading the Bible and praying. You see? It's true, man. This is the modern day. It's a distraction. This is what's happening in the modern day. Because life has gotten easy when it comes to a survival thing, we're forgetting that this human life and walk is completely on the hardest difficulty. It is on the hardest difficulty. And it's better that we have that in our awareness, because then we can become aware of the invisible things, the principalities, such as distraction. Distraction is leading us into a pit in this lifetime. I'm not gonna lie to you. These distractions are all addictions. You know, they set yourself up. You have a dopamine response. And now because of that dopamine response, you are creating a god out of these things. You're creating an idol out of these things. TV taking up 6-7 hours out of your day. I challenge you to have a 6 to 7 hour prayer session, or I challenge you to even have 6 or 7 hours of meditation just to give yourself mental clarity. Most people would fail that immediately and say, no way. But they'll go and watch that TV for 6 to 7 hours. It'd be very time consuming. See, this is why I vowed to make my live streams between 30 minutes and an hour and 10 minutes, period, flat. We don't go beyond that. And we're not having, and at most we have 2 a day. We're not having multiples because at the end of the day, I'm doing everyone a disservice if I just want to be live all day and I want people to come watch a 24-hour stream with me, 6, 7, 3, 4 hours. No. I want to keep it straight to the point of progress and tap into people's awareness. Oh, that's good. I've been reading 10 pages per day as well. It's been doing me very well at nighttime, helping me unwind and get ready for sleep. It's important for us to recognize this. Like, I'm in a reset year, right? Although I am also in a year where, as you all know, I am striving for higher goals than ever before. I am striving for what a lot of people will possibly even make their mountaintop. You know what I mean? I'm trying to gain 5K subscribers this year. I'm trying to stay consistent and be in the gym lifting all throughout the year and change my physique for the better. I'm trying to maintain a healthy relationship this year. I'm trying to make 150K this year. And I'm trying to stay completely sober this year. I'm trying to eliminate distractions this year. I'm trying to build 4 sources of income this year minimum. I'm trying to do all of these things this year. And to be honest with you, this is just the beginning, because in pursuing these goals, I've recognized that the secret to it is to not be distracted. That's really all it is to it. That's all it is to it, is don't be distracted. And then I have to ask myself, right, because it's good to have retrospective, what have I been doing with my life? And why has my time been unworthy to myself to the point where I have been distracted? And I write that off to, reading books about God and prayer, amen, 1 verse at a time. I've recognized that I've been giving myself to distraction just because I was young and ignorant. And when I say young, I mean young and experienced. It's not all about age, because the more distracted you are, the more years of age you go through without experiences. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people who can be older and have less experiences than one that is younger because they've just simply been more distracted. I feel like it's very interesting because I'm in pursuit of all of those goals, and I'm en route to getting them. I'm en route to achieving all of my goals. And I'm happy about that for sure. However, it's more about at peace. I'm not chasing joy. I'm not chasing happiness. I am operating in a way that allows me to maintain my peace. Just want to maintain my peace. You got to really think about it. What's the big issue with the person who drinks alcohol and goes out of their mind is that they build a habit that consumes their time because they have to continue to come back to it, and it takes them out of reality, and it is poison for their body. You got the same thing with a TV addict. It's the same thing is happening. You're watching something, right? You're using your eyes and you're using your entire being to inherit a script when your brain is designed for you to observe life, real life, and problem solve based off of what you observe in real life. Now you're observing a script. The two are twins. I'm just gonna be honest, the two are twins. Winter break off work because I was so idle. My household almost put me in therapy because I was struggling so bad. It's hard when you don't fit in, you know? But it's also much harder when you do fit in, because a lot of times the process of fitting in and not being idle is you start to realize that we're in a very pagan society where people are just gathering together to idol worship one principle after another, after another, after another. One distraction after another, after another, after another. And then they try to recruit you into it, and then they act as if you are the one who's suffering because you're not as excited as they are to be distracted. Well, I'll tell you this. Let them be distracted. The only thing that will spark a change, you've been out of church for 2 weeks, but has the church been with you? That's what it's about, because see, having a connection with God is much deeper than just going to church. There's people who gather in the church for worship, but the real reason is for the validation of the rest of the congregation, and they don't think about God half as much as another person who may not be in the church. And they'll try to convince you that just because they're in church, God favors them more. We're too smart for that. We've known God for too long to fall for that. In this day and age, we need a consistent, deep cleanse. For real. We got people broadcasting their BBL journey. And then the people who would speak out about it will say, you know, I ain't got no problem with the BBL because I like to be a lustful person. That's what you should say. Here goes the thing, man. We got borrowed bodies. It's borrowed. Because of that belief that I have, that all of this is borrowed, I believe that unnatural enhancements are a show of ungratitude to the highest degree to that which gave. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of times we just dealing with the world, and then outside people who are in the world will try to be of assistance to us, but they don't understand, like, God got his hands on me. And it's hard for me to explain this to you, but you can't necessarily be of assistance because you and God aren't as aligned as you might think, you know? It's hard to tell people that sometimes. Because, see, here's the thing about it. A lot of times we forgetting that it's still going on. You know? It's a Moses out there today. It's a Job out there today. It's a Samson out there today. 100 years ago, 200 years ago. The thing is, the stories haven't been told. Therefore, people are not aware of the modern day distractions, the modern day nemesis, the modern day adversary. See, we got to break these words down. See, the devil is the adversary. How could distraction not be an adversary? I'm doing good, Moksha. How you doing, my friend? I asked him whether or not. I'm glad it turned out good. That's very important. That's very important. Because if you don't give it space, then you will never be able to have clarity. You see, can't put it past people to try to manipulate you. You can't put it past them. So you need that space, because that space breaks you free of the possible attempt of their manipulation. I'm from Maryland, but I live in California, my friend. See, it's unfortunate, but people really believe that money buys happiness. When in reality, when you look at the stats of consumerism and what is being consumed, money only seems to really buy distraction. Majorly. And then people, in their pursuit of buying a distraction, will lead you astray. Ain't that something? It's like, hey, listen, before you sell out, ask yourself, what is you gonna buy? And after you ask yourself what you're gonna buy, when you realize that it takes away from your life, doesn't really actually add to your life, it is another form of distraction. Answer this question. Are you the adversary? Seriously. Because, see, a great day is coming, y'all. I don't want to lie to you. A great day is coming where truth moves mountains. It's really sad. Well, there is the possibility that she knows him and knows things about him that his congregation will never know. See, my grandfather was a big time pastor in New York. God rest his soul. And I won't speak harshly on the dead. I will say this. My grandfather was a human. A big time human in New York. And it's important to recognize that part. It truly is. That's unfortunate because it's not too hard to see that some things ain't right. Let's just say it that way. Because we have to speak truthfully, but we also got to speak in a way that the message is allowed to get across. It ain't too hard to see that that ain't right. In my opinion, for you to see that that is right, you got to look beyond God and esteem yourself the most intelligent being and the source of wisdom. Absolutely. It's working vice versa. Now, the God I know is a God that breaks sin down very simply to me. So you got some people that want to eat pork and say, because Christianity is here and people are describing that just through the notion, people are describing that the laws have been done away with for whatever reason. People say, hey, I'm going to eat this pork. The thing about it is, God made it very simple. When you eat pork, look what science tells you about pork. The stuff that the consumption of pork does to your body overall attacks your mind and your mind's ability to make the right decision. How are you going to find yourself in the kingdom if you are not and you cannot functionally make the right decisions? The same with pharmakia, drugs. Same with being a drunkard. People say, oh no, he sent his son, so I don't have to worry about this. Everybody ain't going to heaven. They ain't never said everybody was going to heaven. Jesus ain't never said everybody was going to heaven. Jesus even said, those that say they believe in me, you gotta prove that by following his ways. Your ass drink every day. And see, I say ass. See, this is the thing the modern church has done. Name in the scripture where it says that saying the word ass is a problem. I don't speak of curses. Ass is not a curse word. That's some, we gotta make something else bad while we make what's really bad seem like it's not bad anymore. That's a trick of the devil. It was a donkey. Now, if I set a negative intention and say F word you, I am cursing you. That's the whole intention of that word. If I say F word you, now you have a case. It's very simple. Now I've set a negative intent and had a negative discharge towards someone. It's very simple when you break these things down. Somebody asked, well, if that's the case, I'm trying to, like people say, what's the harm in me doing things that God has already proclaimed as sin? As if you can't just look at it. and see how it plays out and see what it leads into and see a whole bunch of destruction and defiled nature. You know? It's a struggle in these days. It's a big struggle. And people don't understand this struggle is clearly of the adversary. Think about it. Men and women are living in active rebellion against one another. And y'all don't believe the devil out here working? Oh man, y'all just think that's just a part of natural humanity, huh? Well, go ahead and look at all the beasts of the field, the fowls of the air. Where do you see the males, the masculines, and the females, the feminines? Where do you see them working against each other? Only in humankind. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Only in humankind. And the crazy thing is, we know each other's weaknesses, and then we make ourselves a weapon in the image of one another's weakness. Like, come on, why are we doing that? But then we act like, oh, this is just life. You know, there's no truth to anything except what I want to be true. And this is my redemption. This is my stand that I make into the world. We got to get it together, folks. No compromise. See, I'm a man of the Lord. And I can truly and proudly say that because I'm about works, I'm about faith, and I'm about obedience. And I don't create a gray area. I don't create no gray area. There's no need for a gray area. I'm about works, faith, and obedience. A little leaven, leaveneth the whole lump. And that's why we are alone at peace. Gotta understand. In this lifetime, I will find and unite with God. Period. Period. What's up, user? How you doing? It's KJV. In pursuit of uniting with God, I cannot pursue to unite with anything apart from God, because I am well aware of what is going on in the world around me. The devil's hand is on most people. The devil has sold his vision to most people. Many people are under the belief that what the devil has envisioned is glorious. What God has envisioned is boring. What God has envisioned is glorious peace. What the devil has prepared for you is a chaotic search for nothing. That's the reality. English Standard Version. See, I ain't gonna lie, I read the Bible 3 times when I was growing up. And in the process of doing that, I believe the Most High told me exactly what was told in the book of Samuel. Do what comes to your mind. And after that, my mind was restored. You see what I'm saying? After that, I walked around with an assistance inside of my own mind. And that's why I stopped watching TV, because I'm like, hold up, you a distraction. I got an enhancement in my brain. And this enhancement is opening my eyes forevermore. No, I'm not perfect. But I have the ability to listen. I have the ability to listen, and I have the faith and trust to take heed in what I hear. I love the Bible though, trust me. I believe that the Bible prepared me for that. It's nothing that I hear that doesn't align with a lesson of the Bible. That wisdom is true wisdom. I'm not even gonna cap to you. Like, a lot of people try to tear it apart and say it's misogynist, it's this, it's that, and this. It's not misogynist. It's not misogynist. You see what this does to the world when women show their cleavage all willy-nilly. When women adorn themselves all willy-nilly. These are the things that make people say that the Bible is misogynist. When women give their body to men who haven't earned it. You believe it's misogynist because you have a small capacity to understand impact. For what you need to understand is what the woman makes out of the man, or what the man becomes after having these encounters with women who give to them what they have not earned or been ordained. These men become devils amongst humanity. God telling the woman not to do this isn't about God telling the woman she's less than the man. It's about God having a recognition that mankind has the ability to spiral, and that woman can be the catalyst. It's really that simple. It's not misogynistic at all. It is an all-inclusive telltale and manual to how to create a harmonic human existence. But people want to make it, oh, it's about me, it's about me. You're in a borrowed body. You don't even exist. Not in the form that you see yourself. You don't even exist in the form that you see yourself. This is a borrowed body, man. You know how many of us got doppelgangers? All of us. What's that telling you? We all got doppelgangers. What's that telling you? Y'all both borrowing the same body. You're able to give input to the vessel that you was put into. All praise to the Most High. Gratitude. But people become admonished and enamored in the image, and they forget that it is His image. It's not yours. And they start to say, oh, I can do this because I look like this. And it works for me. If it ain't working for humanity, baby, it's not working for you. You are using your God essence, your consciousness, your decisions, your wisdom construct in an adversarial way. And if you're using the image God has granted you permission to utilize to do so. Oh my God, if you don't deserve hell, I don't know what you deserve. Now get your head right. You got to, y'all. You know why? Let me keep it 100 with y'all. God is real and God has no reason to recruit what God gave. However, you wanting to be recruited, sitting there wanting to be recruited, wanting things to be super desirable for you to move towards it, right? You wanting to be recruited, guess who has all the reason to recruit? That which is not created. The adversary. That's who's recruiting you. While you waiting, I want this to, before I do this, I want it to make me feel good. In comes the devil. I don't even want to joke like that. In comes the devil, though. With all of these feel-good sensations he got to offer to you. And on the other end of it is emptiness. And you've been lured off your path to chase this imaginary nothing. Take heed. Take heed. We're better than that. I know we're better than that. What's up, Angelo? Of course he patted you down. It's a test. I agree to that. But you gotta understand right now, we fighting this battle, bro. And we in this world full of wickedness that allows and stems and brews for more wickedness. But guess what though? The power of God, you made it through that, homie. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But nothing can break you though. Trust me. See, you a young man who's not allowing himself to readily be distracted in this world. You're not looking for fancy cars. You're not looking for, you know what I mean? You're not trying to start and spark off your rap career. You're not trying to do this crazy stuff, falling for these crazy distractions. You're not sipping promethazine, smoking marijuana, you know what I mean? Doing these weird, rambunctious things, watching endless movies. So because of that, the devil is using his pawns, which is those that participate in his distractions, to try to give you a distraction. You know, listen, hey, he did what he did, pray on it, release it. It's Sodom and Gomorrah, my boy. Sodom and Gomorrah out this homes. But it's all right, though. Because at the end of the day, you know the Lord ain't going to let that happen to you. Glory be to the Lord of Lords. I mean, no, that's very true. Now, if you out here sagging your parents, trying to look like the dudes that's open and available in jail, then that could be the thing. But it is, Turk. Coming across me, that's a good thing. That means it's about time. You about to start awakening in this reality, my brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna try to distract you, homie. But I want you to know this, man. Align with the righteous path. You're gonna notice in this world, a lot of people is like, oh, it's all right to do this, but you know it's bad. Don't do it. Just notice, just make note. Just make note. And if you come across it 10 times in a week, people trying to lure you into something that your intelligence structure knows ain't right, just know it's that time. It's time to put on that suit of armor, my brother. Four feet of snow. I'm happy I don't get snow where I'm at. I ain't gonna lie. I do not miss the snow. I do not miss the snow. I don't miss the snow one bit. I don't halfway miss the snow. It's a beautiful time to be alive and a time to be beautiful alive. I just want everybody to know that living a life aligned with God is the easiest route. It is the straight path. Don't get it confused. It's way easier for me to get there walking like this rather than walking like this. I mean, all of these distracting steps. See, a lot of people are looking for, what do I want out of life? What do I want? People imagine it's a candy bar. People imagine it's a car. But here goes the thing, you get through that candy bar, what you want? What do I want out of life? Once over again. Then you try to numb it with that candy bar again, feed your obesity. Or you try to get another car, distract yourself, and spend money on nothing. What you want out of life is closeness to God, trust. Closeness to God is peace illuminated. It is peace in development. It is your righteous path of straightforward progress. It is the only way that you can become. Yeah, I'm not a fan of icy roads at all. Shoveling can be fun a little bit sometimes for a person like me. But I'm not a fan of icy roads at all. Woo! Yup. I'm on that. Listen, man, realize, man. I can't be against humanity. I can't be an adversarial energy. I gotta keep it real. It don't sit right with my spirit to mislead. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Seen enough. I'm gonna pray for everybody. I gotta return to my place of prayer because I've seen so much over the course of this lifetime. I done seen so much. I know the adversary is working. Love you as well. Love you as well. Enjoy your time. Thank you for being a contributing factor. And keep God and keep God's word and continue to be an amazing person. Straight path. Trust me. See, we give heed to these distractions, and these distractions are the very things that create a world void of allies. And then we give heed to these distractions, and these distractions put us in a void that makes us feel as if we need allies. You see, if you woke up every day and did things based off of your wisdom of what needs to be done, you wouldn't even need an ally. And the more time stacked upon time doing so, the less and less and less you will need an ally. You will come into so much resourcefulness, and you would have such little waste. That you would be completely sustainable. However, the overwhelming force of adversarial energy has many of us fold into distractions just to escape it, meanwhile becoming a part of it. I appreciate you. "2026 is going to be an amazing year." I got 3 more minutes in this live stream. Thing about 2026 is how it kicked off. Boom. Ran the subscribers up. Running up, running up, running up. But all I had to remember was, the more we run it up, last time around, the more I allow myself to be distracted and begin to give energy to things that is not a part of me. I'm not a social media trend chaser, nor am I a trend setter. I am simply a vessel devoted to that which I borrowed from eternally. And that's where my peace lies. And that's where my peace grows. And that is the walk that is straight. It's the whom is concerned. Alone at peace, escaping the maze, eternal rising, silverback home. Whatever Elias you've come to know me as, I just want y'all to know that God is real. And the proof is in the pudding. Y'all be easy. I'm out.